In this video, we're taking a look at the Wolverine Omnibus, Volume 3. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and it is time for another Omnibus overview brought to you by the good folks over at Organic Price Books. This time, we're taking a look at Wolverine, Volume 3 from Marvel Comics, collecting a whole lot of 90s Wolverine goodness. Now, if you're interested in this book or really any other omnibus edition, go to Organic Price Books. They're the best place to look. They've got amazing discounts, great packaging, great shipping, and the best customer service in the game. Using code BJKicks at checkout will save you $2 on every order. Or if you're like me and you like to order a lot at a time, then use the code BJKicks, ship it together on orders of 3 or more items, and you'll save 5%. And everything will come in one nice, neat package. Still protected very well. So huge thanks to Organic Price Books for sending this over so I could show it to you. Let's go ahead and get into this overview, shall we? Once again, we're at the table for an overview. This time, it's the Wolverine Omnibus Volume 3. Yes, 3 volumes of Wolverine Omnibus editions. This is the direct market variant cover by Jim Lee. This was like an old, I think they were going to use it for like a poster or something. What's funny about this is this cover was the hidden gem variant, ratio variant for Wolverine #1 from the year 2020, spinning out of the Dawn of X and all that. And I didn't know how ratio variants worked back then. I thought you could just order it. And, then I found out it was like a $200 book, and I was like, I don't want to spend $200 on this book, so I don't have this cover. At least not on that book. But now I've got it on this omnibus because it was the direct market cover for the Omni. So I'm super glad that Marvel has the rights to this image to use. Anyway, looking at the book, I just like this cover a lot. Quick look at the spine. It's got Wolverine in that classic Wolverine font, Volume 3. Let's talk about what this collects real quick before we get into it anymore. So this collects Wolverine issues 31 through 59, the 1988 series. Wolverine Bloody Choices. Wolverine Reign of Terror. Ghost Rider Wolverine Punisher Hearts of Darkness. X-Men, the 1991 series, issues 4 through 7. And material from Marvel Fanfare 54 and 55. And Marvel Comics Presents issues 85 to 108. We got words in here by Larry Hama, Peter David, D.G. Chichester, Tom DeFalco, and a bunch of others. Art in here by Rob Liefeld, Andy Kubert, Derek Robertson, John Buscema, Jim Lee, Will Spertasio, just a whole bunch of people. So this one's got a cover price of $125. This collects a ton of stuff. This book is massive. Let's get this dust jacket off. And before I show you the book, I'll show you the dust jacket a little bit better. Now you can see how good that spine looks and just all the classic yellow and blue Wolverine glory. Now, let's look at this hardcover because, man, it's a beautiful one. Again, that yellow and blue, that Wolverine. This is that era of Wolverine. And Marvel's been outdoing themselves with the hardcovers here lately. This design, clearly just taking panels from a bunch of Wolverine stories. Look at that. That's great. So anyway, done judging the book by its cover. Let's actually get inside, right? So, love that image right there. This is Wolverine Volume 3, and it's telling you what it collects. Here we got some credits. Everyone involved with making this book. And we got a table of contents. Classic Marvel table of contents. As you can see, this book stuffs a lot inside. It's over 1,200 pages. It's huge. But we start off with Wolverine issue 31. A new chapter in the life of the Berserker mutant. As far as I understand, the majority of this is going to be written by Larry Hama because he's writing the main Wolverine title at this point. But I mean, all those Marvel Comics Presents short stories and all that, like, there's a lot here. I actually own some of this in trade paperbacks. I was able to find like some Wolverine like epic collections, in Ollie's Hall, way back actually, in a whole different city. I think there's a video, so I'll put that video up in the show note or the little YouTube card or whatever. But there's a few characters that I buy blind, right? Like, no questions asked, no matter what. I will buy this book, this character in omnibus format, like, if I see it available. And the first of those is Batman. If there's a Batman omnibus, I'm almost always going to buy it. And the second is Wolverine, right? Now, I say that it's really X-Men. Like, I'll buy any X-Men omnibus. But my favorite X-Men as a child was Wolverine. Now that I'm an adult, now that I've read more X-Men stories, my favorite is probably Storm. But I don't know, man. At his best, there's no one better than Wolverine. He's the best there is at what he does. And what he does ain't very nice. So I'm very excited that the Wolverine omnibus line has continued. If I'm not mistaken, they've already solicited volume 4, which is going to include, among other things, X-Men issue 25, that Fatal Attractions, where basically Magneto takes all the adamantium out of his skeleton. So that's going to be cool to have in an oversized format, I'll tell you that much. But this right here is straight up 90s Wolverine, right? Like, just a ton of stuff. Like, when I was reading comics, dipping in and out of comics as a kid, I would just kind of pick up whatever looked coolest on the shelf. A lot of that stuff that I picked up back then is in here. Like, this is that time period when I was like actually seeing comics for, the first time. And of course, my X-Men craze coming from the X-Men animated series that was all inspired by that Chris Claremont and Jim Lee era. But as you can see, we've got, what's interesting, this is an oversized book, but this art in particular is not oversized. Now we've got the Reign of Terror book. It says right here, the Wolverine Reign of Terror is published between 44 and 45. It occurs in the past between issues 23 and 24. Nice little one-shot graphic novel or original graphic novel there. And, it's interesting, like, this Wolverine omnibus line is really being pretty good about just collecting everything that Wolverine appeared in. So we got the Wolverine Reign of Terror, the actual Wolverine title. There's a Ghost Rider Punisher Wolverine team up in here with art by John Romita Jr. that I actually have the single issue of, or the original graphic novel of. So there's a lot of just like kind of sporadic stuff here, but I mean, it's that era, and it's from that era where, like, every comic is someone's first. You don't necessarily have to like read stuff in order, but why not? I feel like this is a cool book to just be like, you know what, I want to read a Wolverine story real quick. Look at the table of contents, find a title that looks nice or sounds cool, and just read it real quick. Especially these Marvel Comics Presents stories, because they are all shorter. I mean, you can see it's like 10-page stories. So Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine, lots of different things going on. We got this weird little caterpillar thing that Wolverine's fighting against. Wild Frontier, Chapter 6 says. So anyway, cool stuff. Oh, here's that Wolverine Ghost Rider Punisher team up I was talking about. Hearts of Darkness, written by Howard Mackey, art by John Romita Jr. Very cool stuff. I enjoy John Romita Jr.'s like early stuff. And of course, he did a lot of work on X-Men. I believe his stuff starts around volume 3, volume 4 in the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus line. So that's cool. Which, by the way, volume 5 is already on the way. Oh, is this Wolverine issue 50? Yes. The die-cut cover that I own like 2 copies of. Everybody thought it was going to be worth a whole bunch of money. Turns out it was just going to be a cheap gimmick. But hey, still cool stuff that we all still remember. Well, that's fun. And we're still chugging along. Over halfway done. This is the X-Men that I remember. This is that Chris Claremont, Jim Lee X-Men. And this is, what issue? Oh, is that an ad? Scroll a couple more pages over there. I said scroll. That's great. Where are we at, man? Get to this. Oh, that's great. I love that cover. Here we go. X-Men number 4. First appearance of Omega Red right there. Oh, man. Jim Lee X-Men is just classic. It is just classic. But anyway, let's keep turning the page. Now, Omega Red, you got Maverick. What's funny is how much of this stuff is still being kind of added to today. I'm like reading the Benjamin Percy Wolverine run currently, and you know, Maverick's been all up in that run. Wolverine or Omega Red has been all up in the X-Force title, also by Benjamin Percy. Just a good old Weapon X program reunion. Just cool stuff. So all in all, I'm excited to own this and to be able to revisit this anytime I want without having to, you know, subscribe to some service and just read it digitally. Sometimes you just got to have things in your hand, you know, the smell of paper, all of that. You need all of that. But anyway, let's flip and see what we've got in the way of extras. And we start off with the Marvel Age magazine cover by Sam Keith with a Sam Keith interview. John Romita Jr. interview from Marvel Age. Man, that guy he's talking a lot, isn't he? Some Marvel fanfare pinups, variant covers, trade paperback covers, Marvel X-Men trading cards by Jim Lee. What a time. What a time. If this collection doesn't scream anything else, it screams 90s X-Men and Wolverine. So that's what you can expect to get inside this book. This is still available at Organic Price Books. Like I said, the cover price on this book, this thing is massive. Pretty sure the cover price on this was $150. $125 actually. So cover price is $125. You can get it for a bit cheaper at Organic Price Books, about $83 if I'm not mistaken. And then use my discount code BJKicks. You'll save even more. Speaking of OPB, huge thanks to OPB for sending this over for me to show to you. I hope you enjoyed the overview. I hope that you're as excited about this as I am. If you've read what's inside here, let me know how it was in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in another overview very soon. Until then, whatever you're reading, I hope it's something dope. Peace.